Do you want to know a secret? Come closer. Turn up the volume. Okay, ready? See, right now, what you are experiencing is called tension. And it has everything to do with why you cannot last as long as you want to without blowing your load in bed. And today, I'm going to give you extremely easy, basic, two-step process, a hack to last longer in bed. And that is all about tension. But first, let's talk about premature ejaculation or ejaculating before you want to. Because listen, it is so common. And I know that no man ever wants to be considered a two-pump chump, but you should know that premature ejaculation can affect 1 in 3 men. So pretty much every guy in their lifetime is gonna have at least 1 or 2 whoopsies moments. And there's no shame in that. But if premature ejaculation is an ongoing thing for you, there is something very simple that you can do to get over it. So how do you know if you are dealing with premature ejaculation? Well, my definition is having an orgasm before you're ready. So for some guys, they can reach orgasm like before penetration even happens, just during foreplay or just a few minutes into penetration. I mean, for some guys, orgasming in 5 minutes is too soon. It's too early. It would be too early for me. I want you to have complete and total control over when you finish. And I think if you don't have that, then you're dealing with premature ejaculation. And I know that some guys are okay with like being the thief in the night, just like getting in and getting out as soon as possible, practically before your lover has even had a chance to build up an appetite. But look at it this way. Sex is one of life's greatest pleasures. And while we're here doing this like human experience, I say, let's prolong it and enjoy it. It's like a really great meal. You just want to make it last, right? You want to savor every little last bite. And good sex is the exact same. And think about it from a woman's perspective. Imagine you're a chef at a fancy restaurant and you've spent hours collecting ingredients, simmering spices, getting everything just right. And then your customer comes in to eat and all of a sudden he just sits down and like starts choking down the food as fast as he can, doesn't even stop to savor, and gets up, doesn't even pay the bill, just leaves the restaurant. You would be pissed, and rightfully so. That is what it feels like for a woman to put in all of the work to, get dressed up or get turned on and get aroused and get close to orgasm, and we're finally there, and then all of a sudden, whoop, it's done before it even began. And this really matters because it takes, according to science, the average guy between 5 and 7 minutes to get to orgasm, but it takes the average woman between 20 and 40 minutes to be aroused enough to achieve orgasm. And there's a divide there. Something doesn't add up. And I think this is one of the main reasons that many folks are not having the best sex, the most amazing sex that you possibly can. And the good news is that there is something that you can do about this. My super simple 2-step trick is going to help you to be able to last in the sheets and keep laying pipe until the cows come home. So let's get back to it. Tension. When you think about ejaculating early, I want you to think about it in terms of being overly excited. And let's be real, when you're with someone and the clothes are coming off and your hearts are racing, it's almost like being a little kid on Christmas morning. You're like running down the stairs to see what presents Santa left you under the Christmas tree. If you didn't have a Christmas tree as a kid, just stick with me. You can imagine the excitement. You were a child once. Even if you didn't have a Christmas tree, I know you at least one time you were a kid. So you got excited about something. But I want you to think about the excitement that you would feel from the moment that you woke up. Actually, the moment that the presents started arriving, but then especially when you woke up and you're like running down the stairs, you're finally gonna get your hands on them. That is the tension. Tension is the space between you and whatever is hiding underneath that flimsy little wrapping papers. Being excited feels good, at least to me. Excitement can almost feel like the point. It's like that buildup of getting to the point where you get to open the present can feel like the whole thing, but it's actually not the whole thing. That's just the lead up. The thing is actually the gift. What's underneath the wrapping paper is the point. So again, Christmas morning, you're running down the stairs. It's finally time to unleash the tension between you and those presents. So as a kid, what did you want to do? Well, you wanted to blast through that tension and that excitement and just start tearing at the wrapping paper like a little hyena ripping apart a bunny rabbit, right? Just like getting in there. And what did your parents do? If you had parents like mine, they told you, wait, hold on. I put all of this time and effort into getting these gifts for you, going to the store, picking them up, wrapping them up, putting them under the tree. The least you could do is slow down and enjoy it. In my house, they made you eat breakfast first. And you, as a kid, learned how to be with that tension, how to be with the discomfort, how to be with the space between you and whatever was hiding underneath that tree. And that is exactly what we're going to learn how to apply here to ourselves as adults. You see, the tension that comes from wanting to open that gift is very similar to the tension that you feel in getting aroused and wanting to explode in orgasm. And just like you built that tension all week when you were looking at the tree and seeing the presents under there, your body also builds tension as it gets aroused. Now, most of that tension is going to be centered in your genitals, right? That's where the nerve endings are that are moving you towards orgasm. But all of the muscles in your entire body, your abs, your thighs, even your shoulders, even your face, can be involved in building and holding tension. And that is what gets you close to climax. It's the overwhelming release of that tension when it builds up to such a point that you can't contain it, that it pushes you over the edge. And that's why orgasming feels so good. I mean, it's like waiting all week to find out that you finally got your N64 under the tree. Like this huge rush of relief. Now, imagine that your parents, instead of like wrapping your Christmas gifts, just walked up to you on December 25th and handed you your new N64. No wrapping, no nothing, no buildup. I mean, you'd still be excited, right? Because everyone needed to get in there and play Mario Kart, but you would not have had that same rush and release as if it had been sitting under the tree that whole week, building up the excitement. If an orgasm is just a joyful, explosive, pleasurable release of tension, then how do you manage that tension and thus stop yourself from going over to the edge too soon? Well, one way to do that is to actually control the amount of tension that you are holding in your body. Which brings me to our handy dandy, simple life hack, 2-step guide to lasting longer in bed, which is how to find and release that tension. Step number 1 is to scan your body and notice where you are storing tension. Remember that every single body is different. I have worked as a sex coach with men who stored tension in every single muscle of their body. They like squinted their arms, they grit their teeth, they were flexing, they're holding tension in their abs, their calves, and their thighs are all tight. Some guys I worked with can't even get to ejaculation unless they squeeze that amount of tension into their body. But the guys who have trouble and ejaculate early usually find that they're squeezing their belly, their thighs, their glutes, or their butt. Basically, it's somewhere in the areas around or surrounding your genitals. Again, not every single person. So what's most important is that you get to know your body. And the way that you do that is by masturbating or having sex while making mental notes. So you're noticing as you're getting closer to orgasm, you're finding in your body where that tension occurs. You might be noticing that you're like clenching your butt cheeks together or your jaw. Anyways, you'll figure this out for yourself. And the way that you figure that out is by doing what is called a body scan. Now, I want you to imagine a sci-fi movie where someone is in like the healing pod and the laser scans down their body. Only it's you're both the astronaut and the healing pod and the laser in this analogy. So I recommend that you start at the top. If it feels better to start at your feet, go with it. Just work in one direction, checking in with each muscle group as you go. So try this with me right now while we're here together on YouTube. Start with your head. Notice, how does your scalp feel? Are your eyes relaxed? What about your cheeks, your jaw, your tongue? What about your neck, your shoulders, your arms, your chest, your abs? Keep going all the way down, both your front and your back body, and look for anywhere and everywhere that tension is being stored. Wherever you find it, just take a second and notice it. And that brings us to step 2. Now that you've located some tension, it is time to focus on it. I recommend that you begin by taking a slow, deep breath in and an even slower breath out. When you exhale, imagine that you're actually releasing the tension that was stored up in those muscles. If that works, great. Then go ahead and keep scanning with every place, repeating that process until you've covered your entire body. Now, say you find some areas where you breathed in and out and it didn't release the muscle. Not a problem. If you are struggling to breathe the tension out of the muscle, here's what I want you to do. Once you locate the muscle that has tension, I actually want you to lean into it by adding more tension to it. Squeeze the muscle even tighter. Take an inhale and then release it on your exhale. And repeat that as many times as necessary. I promise that by giving the muscle sort of what it wants, you'll actually be able to convince it to relax. Keep repeating this process until you have found and either released or tightened and then released all of the stored tension in your body. You can do this scan as many times as you want or as necessary. The reason this process is so effective at preventing orgasm is that if you're not storing any tension in your body, then you don't have any tension to release in order to get to orgasm. I mean, you can just imagine like being completely relaxed, like wet noodle you is not gonna be able to get to orgasm, right? Now, this might be everything that you need to end your premature ejaculation and last as long as you want in bed. But if you want to get the rest of my hacks and the method that I have developed after working with hundreds of clients and having graduated over 10,000 students in my course, I want you to check out my masterclass, Come When You Want. It is roughly 3.5 hours of me teaching you my unique methods, everything that I have learned over the last 8 years of working with men on how to be amazing in bed and control your orgasm. It's designed to be taken in just a few short weeks, and often men notice that they're able to start lasting much longer immediately. 98% of men who have completed the course say that it worked for them. So check out the link in the description. And if you don't like it, even if you do like it and you just don't want to keep it, it comes with a 90-day money back guarantee. So no questions asked, take the course, use it, study it, try it out for yourself. All right, now you might be thinking, Caitlin, regarding tension, I can see how this works, but this might be like a little awkward. What if my partner sees me doing this and like she realizes that I'm scanning myself like some weird kind of sci-fi movie where I'm like both the ship and the hero? It's weird, right? Yeah, it's kind of weird, but let's be real. There are way weirder things that you could be doing at that moment, like thinking about baseball. You know, how many times have you heard this? Like, just think about baseball to last longer in bed. I mean, the last thing that I want the guy who's in my body to be thinking about is something other than myself or himself or what's going on between us, right? I would be so angry to know that you were thinking about A-Rod instead of me. So tell her what you're doing, lean into it, be honest. Explain to her that you just want to savor every single moment. You want to open her slowly like your favorite Christmas present or like a 5-star meal that's been prepared by a master chef, and you just want to be sure to slow down and savor every single succulent bite. Sounds good, right? And once you've done that, I want you to come back to this video and write into the comments below which muscle group it was that made the biggest difference for you. And the guys who are watching this who have already taken Come When You Want, go into the comments and write which muscle group made the biggest difference for you so that the guys who are watching this video can know where to look the next time that they are having sex or masturbating. Like I said, you can do this on your own. Skill of tapping into your body is something that you've got to practice. But I promise you that with some practice, you will soon be having the best sex you have ever had. You'll start feeling more confident in the bedroom, and she is gonna start coming back for more and more and more. Remember that sex is supposed to be fun, so slow down, enjoy it, and subscribe to this channel because if you like this, there's a whole lot more where this came from. I'm Caitlin B. Thank you for joining me. I will see you here next week. Bye-bye.